As far as right now, I definitely plan on doing both events. Just rehabbing a little bit on the back. Don't know if it's a slip disc or a herniated disc. It was very minimal, but which is good news. The doctor says it's mostly seems like it's muscle. So it basically some rehabbing that, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm doing, just got into some DDPY. He doesn't like it being called yoga, but because it is a little bit different. But I'm telling you, man, this thing it's done wonders for me. And it's not every day you do DDPY and you get your heart rate up to 150 just stretching, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, completely changing the lives of not just professional wrestlers who have really gone on, a huge platform and promoted it for DDP, but, changing the lives of human beings and really changing the way people look at, we'll call it Y, but, essentially yoga as a form of exercise. But specifically talking to your back, now, obviously your style is very physical. You do a lot of movement, air, ground, you cover it all. So how is it preparing for a match or whatever you're going to be doing physically if you're going to be, kind of favoring something as essential to your performance as your back?
Well, I don't plan on favoring it. If it's something that I have to favor, then I'm not 100%. And if it's not 100%, then it's just going to get worse. So, but I believe, next week about this time, I'll be ready to go. I don't really see anything messing with me, and I'm not in a lot of pain. For starters, I was, and I didn't want to make it worse, so that's why I came home from the tag tournament. But like I said, after rehabbing it, I feel like I'll definitely be ready to go in the next week, and it'd be 100%.
Now, I know I don't want to kill the back to death, but this is just out of curiosity. But how was a ride back from Japan when you're kind of favoring a back injury and sitting in the upright position like that for an extended period of time?
Yeah, it sucks. There's no good way to handle a back injury when you're sitting in there. But you deal with it. You try to sleep most of the time and figure out a good plan to get it back in shape. Got plenty of time to think about it. 14 hours on a plane.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Never did it, but can't imagine what that could possibly be like. So now, continuing with the maintenance and hitting the hot button issues. So now another thing that's been kind of swirled out there in terms of the rumor mill, and, there's different sources that could be wrong, and that's why we want to get it from the horse's head, and that is rumors of interest from WWE and NXT, and ever since you left TNA, it seems like literally every day there's some kind of news item about AJ Styles and where he's going to end up, and you basically single-handedly changed the way independent wrestling is viewed since you left TNA, because you've made the indies basically a place to be now. But now, with WWE NXT scooping up Samoa Joe and James Storm is in there, both former TNA cohorts of yours, is there any truth to that rumor as well, that there's still pursued interest by WWE to get you into NXT or just into the WWE period?
I haven't had a call from someone who wants to hire me. So nothing really. And I'm okay with that. That's not a big deal to me. I think it's more of the fans wanting something like this to happen than, what I'm wanting to happen. I want to be able to retire in a couple of years, so I'm going to go wherever that takes me. But I have no problem doing the independents. I love it. I think I have a great time on the indies, and I've had the opportunity to wrestle a lot of great wrestlers. Also doing Ring of Honor and New Japan. I mean, that's a good combination.
Oh, it's awesome. And like I said, you really kind of reinvented what the indie scene looks like, because, now you kind of get your mouth watering, your palate's all wet, waiting for some of these dream matches. I know you have an upcoming one with Rey Mysterio that's, another huge one in the UK that everybody's talking about, and you really changed that perception of the big indie show. But, I got to ask this, before you retire, you mentioned that, is it something you still would love to do, is get that full-time, spot in WWE, performing at WrestleMania, and seeing what everybody's been doing in NXT, and really it being a gateway to this WWE superstardom now? Is it something you'd love to pursue before you retire?
I mean, like I said before, I want to, support my family, and I'm going to go wherever that takes me. Is it, would I like to have a WrestleMania moment? Sure. But I'm very content with having, a a Wrestle Kingdom moment, from the 60,000 fans. I think that's pretty awesome, walking down the long ramp of the Tokyo Dome, and probably one of the bigger matches on the show. So, there's got to be people out there who want to do the same thing.
That is such an awesome way to say it, the Wrestle Kingdom moment. And I know John's going to get into it in a minute, but if you could, kind of take us into a Wrestle Kingdom moment and going out there and seeing the size of that crowd. And, of course, the American fans finally got a chance to see it on pay-per-view last year on the landscape that it was, and it was so well done. But take us into the arena if you can, and as you walk out there and, crowds that really do love your work and appreciate what you do, what's that like to get in front of them and perform on essentially their WrestleMania?
Dude, there's no way to describe it. It's amazing. And, having an entrance a little bit different than everybody else's was surprising to me. And then walking that long ramp, to the ring that's probably the coolest part, because I wanted a New Japan moment. I think before they were doing Wrestle Kingdom, I'd seen, the Tokyo Dome shows, and it was just amazing to see that long walk. And, that was one of the things that I wanted to do as a professional wrestler. And it's really cool that I get to do that. And the people out there, like you said, they love to see great wrestling. And I would like to think that me and Nakamura is a pretty big match for those guys over there. So, and around the world, you've been in tag matches before, but never a one-on-one match. So it's something that's never been done before, and on one of the biggest stages in the world.
I had the pleasure of meeting you.